Last match, Bloodline Rules. Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns, WWE Universal Championship on the line. Cody Rhodes finishes the story, Matt. This was an epic main event of all proportions. Before I go deep diving into it, what were your initial thoughts?
Big fan. Big fan of the match. And it went down much like I expected it to, and I don't think that's a bad thing at all. They went out, they had a great wrestling match, and then eventually you get to that point where it's like time to start going home, and then we're going to start doing, hitting our big stuff, and we're going to get our big false finishes, and then you knew that the interference was coming. Yeah, I was good with it all, and I thought it was set up really well how they did the deal. Jimmy and Jey, they took out one another and countered one another, and then when you have Solo come out, he is answered by John Cena, and you've got a little backstory with that deal as well. So you have John Cena come out, you see him interact, which people went batshit crazy for. And then from him, you have The Rock. And it's funny, you knew The Rock was going to be involved in this, but still, it's like an epic moment because now The Rock is coming down to face John Cena, which feels big, right? It feels like larger than life, which is so cool. This thing happens. You have The Rock stop John Cena, then the lights out, where I expected to hear the glass shatter. That's kind of what I thought, but that didn't happen. I thought the glass would shatter and we'd see a stunner or two, which would have been hilarious with Rock. But you have the lights go out, you hear the boom, and there's Taker. You turn around, choke slam, boom, and then we allow Cody and Roman to get in there one-on-one, and then you see 1, 2, and he finally hits that third crossroad and wins the match. It was a great moment, man. So happy for Cody. So proud that he was given this moment, and just he busted his ass for this last year, coming off last year, and made things work. And he overcame obstacles throughout this, but he stayed healthy, he stayed positive, and he continued to just bust his ass and work hard, and thankfully it all paid off.
See, I'm glad I let you describe the match because I was curious if you were going to bring it up, and you didn't. And you're not alone. I've seen a lot of people miss in talking about this, which was the role that Seth Rollins played. Everyone's talking about everyone, but you're not alone. I've seen so many people gloss over this. Everyone's talking about the cameos, right? These great cameos, Rock and Taker and Cena and all that. That's great. That was for the casual fan. Okay, let's throw it out there.
Sure. Yeah. Correct.
But the true connective tissue of all of this was Seth Rollins, where Seth Rollins months ago told Cody, I can be your shield to Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
I feel responsible for creating this version of Roman Reigns, and only I know how to get to him. So Seth Rollins, who's had the worst weekend of his life to this point, loses the tag team match, loses the world title, still shows that he's a man of his word, and comes back in the Shield gear. And seeing him in the Shield gear is a trigger for Roman. It takes him back to the worst moment of his life when Seth Rollins turned on him 10 years ago. It's when they had their Royal Rumble title match a couple years ago when Seth came out in the Shield gear and worked the match in the Shield gear. It broke Roman in that moment. We saw a different Roman. We see it again here. Seth is about to hit The Rock from behind, just like he did to Roman, but Roman won't let him because he will not let that happen to his family, of which happened to him. It takes him out, and then all the rest of the tomfoolery unfolds, and it's left in the ring where it's Roman, Cody, and Seth. Cody and Seth are both stirring. A chair is there in the ring, and Roman has to make a choice. Do I finally get my revenge 10 years later on the man that broke me? Or do I finish the job and take Cody out and win this match? And because Roman is so obsessed with taking out Seth Rollins and avenging what he felt was wrong to him, he chooses Seth. And in poetry, hits him the same exact way that Seth hit him 10 years ago. Seth falls the same exact way that Roman Reigns fell 10 years ago. And that little hesitance allowed Cody to stir up and beat Roman Reigns with the 3 crossroads, another storytelling element from last year where he was unable to do that, and now finally he's able to do that, and when he hits 3, he wins, and that's what happened here in this match. Oh boy, just even going through those small details, man.
You're right, and that's great, and it's such an amazing fine detail. But hey, the devil's in the details, right? And you're right. They had been this moment was well thought out. You know, obviously because they laid they dropped the seeds for weeks ago, obviously. So yes, it was a great moment, and it's so funny. I skipped over it as I was thinking more casual fan in the big moments that people were expecting, but the Seth thing was a very integral piece of the puzzle, and it was great, and it was great storytelling that the people who pay close attention, they were rewarded.
Yeah, and for Seth, it's like the completion of his character arc. Like
Yeah,
for all the bad things that Seth has done as a character, this redeemed all of them.
yeah,
And that,
especially even with Cody, with him and Cody, they had that deal right from the jump.
well, right. And Seth Rollins did something as a babyface that didn't benefit Seth Rollins. It
Right.
benefited the greater good. That's the magic of that moment.
Mm-hmm.
Seth
No,
Rollins
yeah, you're
was
right.
the
It was a great moment, and I agree with everything you said.
Seth Rollins was the MVP of this WrestleMania. And there were a lot of people who said, oh, he looked like a goober. He looked like a loser for not getting any offense in. Shields don't provide offense. Shields provide defense. And he defended
Yeah,
Cody Rhodes.
and to the people that say that sometimes your story dictates losing, and it's about overcoming and following through and being valiant in loss, and that's what Seth Rollins did this week.